Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. It's been a little bit since I made a last video, so if you are coming back, returning, whatever, if you've watched me before and you're watching me again, I really appreciate it. And before I get into anything, yeah, you know, I haven't made a video in 3-4 months. It's been a crazy time, aside from like obviously all of the, you know, Rona and all that kind of jazz. I was in a really bad car accident. Yeah, there's just been like a lot going on. The car accident really kind of like stalled everything, and then I think I just had to go through a few things and get that upgrade and come back and share it with you. So yeah, if you're returning, it means the world to me. Also, there were emails that got me through until today that meant more than any amount of dollars that could have been put into my account. So you guys know who you are, but if you sent me an email, I promise you if I didn't reply, I read it, I cried, and it means the world to me. Yeah, that anyone would even just take, you know, a couple minutes out of their day to say that they liked anything that I did means, like I said, it's more than a dollar value could be placed on my perspective, or from my perspective. So yeah, and then you know, every time I went to go and do a video, something would happen, or I'd get stalled, or it just wasn't really, you know, clicking, and then I'd get another lesson and go, oh, okay. The car accident was pretty dramatic, but we made it out. I don't know, I was gonna say yeah, no, we'll leave it at that. You know, we made it out. I lost all, not all, but I lost a good portion of my tarot cards. I wondered too that day, all I could think of was like funny, stupid things, but I had to take a helicopter ride to, well, from where I lived to a hospital that was able to sort of like deal with whatever was wrong with me at the time. And I just kept thinking, how many people are standing around the car going, she didn't see that coming? Because, you know, like everyone has these like preconceived notions of, and yeah, the funny thing is I just want to stress the importance of, you know, listening to your intuition, listening to your gut, listening to, you know, the signs and those messages that you get, because funny enough, and this is not a joke, it actually happened to me on April 1st. April Fool's Day, and it was pretty dramatic, and I, from the start of the day, was completely off. I was having a really bad day. Oddly enough, also during this whole, like, everyone else stopped working in the world, and that's when I decided it would be perfect to go out into the world. So I also did that, which has been funny for me. I don't know why I'm spending so much time catching up, but let's catch up. Comment below what you've been up to. But it is kind of funny for me. The energy shift, I'm not going to go into planet alignment and all that, but it is very interesting. And if you're interested in that, definitely look it up, and you'll see that the way the planets are aligned right now, bear with me, and you'll see that the way the planets are aligned right now, it's actually the same time that we went into World War. I think it's 1 or 2, the big dramatic sort of societal change. So it's every 35 years, which is funny because I don't know if that's funny actually. It was funny in my head for a sec. I'm 35, which was the funny, but so the world changed when I entered it, and it is now changing when I'm kind of at my best adulthood. I mean, maybe it's a coincidence, but I just don't think we should overlook it, is all I'm saying. Okay, anyways, so I'm gonna do a general reading for this first video just to kind of like get back out there. It's funny because every time I would go and do a video, something would happen, and then there was a chunk of time when, you know, after the car accident, I had to heal and stuff like that, and I thought, oh, well, I can't make a video until, you know, I do this, and this, and today it's messy, but, and don't get me wrong, I look better now than I do normally, but it just wasn't the, I guess it wasn't the right time. And I think that's a message for any and everybody, is that, and also, like I said, I just really think that, this has been a very awakening time for a lot of people, but just because you I'm like all sweaty. Just because you become, okay. It's just like when you've slept and you've been sleeping for a really long time and you wake up in the morning, you're sort of groggy, you don't know, where am I, what's going on? Like it's the start to your day. So a lot of people are in that sort of groggy morning, kind of getting their footing. So communication will be key right now. It might be harder for you to communicate. It might be easier. I think when it comes to rules and spirituality, there are none. Compare stories, absolutely. Guidelines, but for every single person that's on this earth, they have their own journey. And even if it differs in such a little way, I mean, if you want to get really, how do you know that your feeling was as deep as mine? Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody's going to have it sort of differently, but there's enough similarities that we can go, oh, yeah, that happened to me like this. And yeah, so that communication is definitely going to be key. To go from controlling everything to controlling nothing is very, very difficult. I would say start small, like no one here has, this guidebook of how we're all supposed to act and feel, and people walk away so easily, and we allow people to treat us in ways that we don't like, but we allow it anyways. We act in ways we would never want someone else to treat us. So especially when it comes to your partner, the person that you are, going down this sort of journey life path with, if you can't have a an open communication between each other, that no matter what you're feeling, you're aware that, like, I understand how mad or upset, or I understand what you're feeling, but no matter how much what I'm saying triggers you, let's find a way to talk, because what you're hearing and what I'm saying, do you know what I mean? Like, however that works for you. It's definitely a sensitive topic. It's the same thing, and I don't know why this would be my example, but it's the same thing when you go to break up with somebody. Of course, the easiest thing to do would just be to fuck off and ghost them. Like, well, duh. Like, but it takes, a real human being to stand in that uncomfortable, gut, heart-wrenching, those moments, they matter. There's very, if any, moments that I have in my life where I'm like, man, I shouldn't have said that. And I mean that genuinely. I would rather have made a fool of myself standing up for myself than to be walked over to allow somebody else to carry that false power with them. Like, they're somehow allowed to walk through life and say whatever they want, or, I've always been somebody that's going to call out the bullshit, and it's not always gone in my favor, but I just don't regret it. I don't know where that was going, to be honest. So, okay. That's funny. I said, I don't know where this is going, and then we got know where you wish to go. Which is awesome, and have a plan and the right direction. I don't know about you, but that cat, I'm Canadian, I'm from Canada. They think I'm slow, And we have all in the golden afternoon: inspiration, creative spark, imagination, and conception. Okay, I love that. So, total energy shift. Definitely, this is a new venture. So, although we were just talking about, pregnancy and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, I did see, some, I think, like I said, fall is a good time, right? It's a harvest time. But this message is about starting a new path. And this might be more this might be more of a creative path. This might be your own business. This might be an idea that you have. This might be, wow, so many things. So from everything from like starting a new or learning about a new religion to going back to school to like so many new things. Anything that you can sort of conceive in your mind, that's the inspiration here. So I'm just looking for the page. I'm going to read this to you. So it says, I wonder what will happen next. I'll let you look at the card just in case you catch anything there. Okay. So Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. And what is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversation? So it says, there are points in life when everything seems quite perfect. Things are calm, all is well, and we are comfortable, sheltered, easy in ourselves and in the relationships we have. There is, in short, nothing at all wrong. Then why is it that we do not feel satisfied? This is because free spirits grow restless amidst This is because free spirits grow restless amidst too many. I like literally just want to start the whole 18 minutes over because of this, but I won't, but whatever. Then why do we not feel satisfied? It's because free spirits grow restless with too much sameness. Much as we find Alice and you, dear reader, at this time, well, she ought to be enjoying an afternoon beneath the tree in late summer. Alice is actually a little fretful and restless. She wants an adventure, to explore, to reach out beyond the comforts of her current existence. This is the very point that you're at. Yeah, that's exciting. You will decide whether or not to enter into and enjoy all that you've been given. There's nothing at all wrong with embracing that. Or, as you will know from Alice, this could be the point at which you begin to wonder whether this is the place from where you need to explore, stretch, or jump. A small part of you is tired with the tidy and comfortable and the repetitive. You would rather the adventure, where you will learn more of who you truly are than you will in this in-between state of sameness and people who never ask questions and are content never to go beyond the comforts of their current life. You, dear reader, want more. Oh, and I get that. This card tells you that very soon, if you choose, you will have an unprecedented opportunity for adventure. It is your decision, but I think I know what you will choose when the moment of change arrives, just in time to save you from the numbness of too much habit and repetition. This is the very edge of chance. Prepare yourself. Oh, that's exciting. I just got like a... Okay, so it's a longing for excitement, wonder at what is meant to take place next, someone who is comfortable but vaguely dissatisfied, being ready for a challenge or for new experiences. So, I mean, honestly, that kind of ties into the whole thing, whether you're ready to start a family or you're ready to just look at this pretty kitty. So this is, would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here? That depends a good deal on where you want to get. Oh, sorry, where you want to get to, said the cat. I don't much care where, said Alice. Then it doesn't matter which way you go, said the cat. Don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, don't judge a book by its cover. You know, it's often the most worn covers that are the most read. So there's lots of things I want to say, so definitely tune into the other ones. But I think for now, this is where we're going to sign it off. So I really appreciate you checking out the channel. If you haven't already liked the video, please do, and any other videos you choose. Subscribe to my channel. It really would mean the world to me. I do this solely because I really want to help people. I've been in the worst positions in life and haven't had a whole lot of help getting out of them. I know what it's like to have nobody. I know what it's like to feel like you don't want to be here. I know what it's like to know that there's more but not know how I'm ever going to get there. And so if I can do anything in this lifetime, it is going to be using everything that's happened to me to somehow better somebody else. Yeah, honestly, it just, the more that happens to me, the more I feel it's happening for me. I wouldn't be the person I am if I didn't go through everything that I did. but those were conscious choices that I made, because had I handled anything different, had I not, you know, trusted myself and the universe or whatever, but even just making it basic, if I hadn't just trusted myself that I was making a good decision, that I, you know, was doing the best that I could, that there was a better way, if I didn't take the time to sort of sit in those horrible feelings, and if I didn't go through those days and weeks and months of, you know, just torture and crying and not, again, just not wanting to be here anymore, but knowing that there wasn't really an out, it was a very torturous time. And in that moment when you're in it, even just saying tomorrow will be better, it's like you want the answer, you want that magic thing. All I can say is, if you give the trust and take it day by day, you'll be exactly where you need to be. Having the life you want means being brave when you want to run away. It means standing when you want to fall down. I have been knocked down so many times in life, but I've never been kept down. There's not a situation I've ever been in my life that I haven't come out of better and learned something from, and just really grew. Like, I love who I am now as a person, and I really, really, really want that for all my viewers too, my babies. Anyways, yeah, so rambled off again there, but I hope you know what I mean. If you're watching this all the way through, it means the world to me. It really does, because I ramble and, you know, it goes off and then it comes back. We circle back, and I am so happy to be back. Guys, thank you for checking out the video, and I will see you on my next video. Bye, guys.